Welcome to the 2020 Fort Bend ISD graduation ceremonies. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the Fort Bend ISD class of 2020. Fort Bend ISD has implemented several health and safety measures in accordance with Texas Education Agency and CDC guidelines. If you are experiencing any symptoms related to COVID-19 or have been exposed to someone with the virus within the last 14 days, please do not attend today's ceremony and instead watch our live video stream. Please remember to practice safe social distancing at all times by remaining at least 6 feet away from anyone outside of your household at all times, including as you enter and exit today's venue. TEA guidelines state that up to 5 members of the same household may sit together in the audience, and all groups must be at least 6 feet away from any other family group at all times. We appreciate your cooperation to ensure the safety of all in attendance. Welcome to the 2020 Fort Bend ISD graduation ceremonies. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the Fort Bend ISD class of 2020. Fort Bend ISD has implemented several health and safety measures in accordance with Texas Education Agency and CDC guidelines. If you are experiencing any symptoms related to COVID-19 or have been exposed to someone with the virus within the last 14 days, please do not attend today's ceremony and instead watch our live video stream. Please remember to practice safe social distancing at all times by remaining at least 6 feet away from anyone outside of your household at all times, including as you enter and exit today's venue. TEA guidelines state that up to 5 members of the same household may sit together in the audience, and all groups must be at least 6 feet away from any other family group at all times. We appreciate your cooperation to ensure the safety of all in attendance. Welcome to the 2020 Fort Bend ISD graduation ceremonies. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the Fort Bend ISD class of 2020. Fort Bend ISD has implemented several health and safety measures in accordance with Texas Education Agency and CDC guidelines. If you are experiencing any symptoms related to COVID-19 or have been exposed to someone with the virus within the last 14 days, please do not attend today's ceremony and instead watch our live video stream. Please remember to practice safe social distancing at all times by remaining at least 6 feet away from anyone outside of your household at all times, including as you enter and exit today's venue. TEA guidelines state that up to 5 members of the same household may sit together in the audience, and all groups must be at least 6 feet away from any other family group at all times. We appreciate your cooperation to ensure the safety of all in attendance. Welcome to the 2020 Fort Bend ISD graduation ceremonies. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate the Fort Bend ISD class of 2020. Fort Bend ISD has implemented several health and safety measures in accordance with Texas Education Agency and CDC guidelines. If you are experiencing any symptoms related to COVID-19 or have been exposed to someone with the virus within the last 14 days, please do not attend today's ceremony and instead watch our live video stream. Please remember to practice safe social distancing at all times by remaining at least 6 feet away from anyone outside of your household at all times, including as you enter and exit today's venue. TEA guidelines state that up to 5 members of the same household may sit together in the audience, and all groups must be at least 6 feet away from any other family group at all times. We appreciate your cooperation to ensure the safety of all in attendance.
Good morning. Please be seated. I'm Charles Dupree, Superintendent of the Fort Bend Independent School District, and as we open today's commencement for the Hightower class of 2020, I want to recognize that today's ceremony is different and unique because of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have moved to this stadium from the Smart Financial Center. We are social distancing, and we are handing out diplomas and celebrating our graduates without the usual hugs and handshakes. It is different, but our purpose is still the same. We're here to celebrate you, our class of 2020. It has been a difficult season these last 9 weeks as we have been quarantined, in many ways isolated from our community, feeling the loss of our everyday life and the special events we have looked forward to for so long, and grieving the untimely death of so many in our country and around the world from the virus. Throughout this country, citizens have demonstrated in support of their right to return to a sense of normalcy. There have been protests of stay-at-home orders and other constraints put in place because of the coronavirus. And for many in our country, those feelings of grief and loss have been magnified by recent events that have increased racial tensions in our nation. Across the U.S., citizens are currently demonstrating to show their fear, anger, and grief following the recent untimely death of several African Americans. This is the society in which you have grown up and the society in which you are graduating to take your place as contributing adults. And graduates, it is my prayer that you will carry the attributes of our profile of a graduate with you as you navigate your future. Over the course of history, people have used demonstrations, both peaceful protest and violent riots, to advocate for change. From the Boston Tea Party to the Civil Rights Movement to today, major change has often been preceded by protest. I have seen evidence that the class of 2020 has learned to raise your voice to advocate for what is right and for the things you believe in. And we do not all believe the same things. As compassionate citizens, you are to be empathetic to others, exhibiting care and concern in times of need. You are to be respectful and self-disciplined, actively engaging in improving our diverse community by being inclusive and embracing differences. And when the time comes, you exercise your right to vote. Even today, there are a wide range of beliefs and understandings about COVID-19 and how quickly our country and state should get back to normal. And there are those that carry deep grief and anger because of the African American citizens that are gone for no good reason, while others cannot understand why they feel that way. In FBISD, we have attempted to help you develop your abilities to communicate effectively and think critically. As you step into your future, we urge you to respectfully and actively listen to others while engaging in courageous conversations. Consider all sides of an issue and then use your voice to make a difference. But always seek first to understand and then to be understood. Graduates, I am so proud of all you have learned and the strength you have shown through diversity. This is a time for us to celebrate you and your peers. Your families are here to honor this milestone as we recognize where you have been and where you are going. Even though we have so many mixed emotions in our hearts because of all that is taking place in the world around us, this is a time for happiness and celebration. It is not a time for disruptive demonstration or protest. There is an appropriate time and place to have your voice heard. And when you are in that place, I challenge you to know why you are demonstrating, what you are supporting, and what you hope to accomplish by using your voice. Through thoughtful action and purposeful use of your voice in an appropriate time and place, you can make a difference. But for today, in this moment, I invite you to fill your heart and mind with the joy and excitement that comes with graduating from high school. Before we proceed, please join me in a moment of silence to reflect on the many things going on in the world around us today, as well as the joy you might be feeling on your graduation day. Thank you. Today, in FBISD, the most diverse school district in the United States, we are celebrating a class of graduates that is diverse in every way. Over 100 languages spoken, ethnic roots from all over the world, different religions, different values, different cultures, different histories. But today, you are unified as the Hightower class of 2020, and we are gathered to celebrate you and your achievements. I celebrate your accomplishments and hope you will dedicate your life to being a force for positive change, a world changer who will make our great country even better and leave a lasting impact on the world even after you are gone. Congratulations, graduates.
Welcome to the 2020 commencement ceremony for Hightower High School. My name is John Montalongo. I have the honor of serving as the principal at Hightower High School. Before we begin today's ceremony, I want to introduce to you our platform guest. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. First, we'd like to introduce Isabella Grandada, our valedictorian. Sanal Kumar, our salutatorian. Montrell Nelson Jr., senior class president, and Amy Pierce, student council president. Also joining us today is Dr. Charles Dupree, our Fort Bend ISD superintendent and representatives of the Board of Trustees. First, Mr. Jason Bernstein, board president. Ms. Addie Halliger, board vice president. Mr. David Rosenthal, board secretary. And board members, Ms. Grell James and Jim Rice. Round of applause. Seniors, today I stand before you with mixed emotions. My mind is racing, trying to find the right words to say. My heart is pumping with pride for our seniors. As you begin the next chapter in your life, know that the future has no limits and tomorrow will look more different than ever before. I would like to share 4 points with you as you begin this new and adventurous journey. Number 1, Be flexible. Life is unpredictable. Curveballs come at any moment. Being flexible will help you adapt, help you find the answers to your questions and problems. Remember, change is inevitable. Today is a prime example. And those who are flexible can manage change more effectively. Number 2, be collaborative. In today's global society, you will be working with people from across the world and will have to be collaborative to solve issues in our future. Collaboration improves and increases the problem-solving process. Collaboration breaks down walls and increases sharing of ideas as well as improves communication. Those who embrace collaboration not only have an opportunity to learn from each other, but we learn from our mistakes, our successes, and our failures. We can also gain an understanding of another person's perspective. Number 3, be a good listener. Being a good listener demonstrates compassion and understanding. You demonstrate attentiveness to the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors of other people. You see the world through their eyes. This is a critical skill needed in maintaining productive relationships and keeping open lines of communication. Last, show gratitude. I hope to remind you that we are blessed in more ways than we realize. Having and showing gratitude will keep us from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Being thankful allows us to focus on today and know that blessings are abundant. I would like to close by sharing a few quotes. Oprah Winfrey, television mogul, stated, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never, ever have enough." Steve Maraboli, radio commentator and author, said, "Forget yesterday. It is already forgotten about you. Don't sweat tomorrow. You haven't even met. Instead, open your eyes and your heart to the truly precious gift called today." Melody Beattie, an author, stated, "Gratitude turns what we have into enough and even more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity, and it makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow." Seniors, I challenge you to embrace life and all of its lessons it will bring while you pursue your purpose. Your legacy is defined by what you lead, love, and live every day. Your legacy is defined by the way, Seniors, lead boldly, love deeply, live courageously. I'm so proud of you. Wish you the very best. I see you clearly for the greatness you are, the greatness you will do, and the greatness you will become. Seniors, we all see you. Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, opening remarks given by the salutatorian, Sanal Kumar.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Snehal Kumar, your class salutatorian. I speak on behalf of the Hightower class of 2020 when I say, thank you for attending our graduation today, especially in the midst of these uncertain times. Truly, this moment is made infinitely better when we see our pride reflected on the faces of those who made it possible. Before we begin the next segment of our lives, I encourage the graduates in this stadium to take a deep breath and reflect on our journey. Recall that first day we stepped into Hightower, bursting with emotion. Recall the intricate maze that was our school, with hallways labeled all letters of the alphabet. Recall the first A we got, the first record we broke, the first competition we won, and every other first, whatever it may be. Recall the many storms we struggled against, but also recall our triumph over them. Recall our ups and downs, successes and failures, and breathe. Breathe in relief and satisfaction because, in the famous words of St. Paul, we have fought the good fight, we have finished the race, and we have kept the faith. Let us reaffirm our faith in God and ourselves with a prayer of gratitude. Father in heaven, thank you for our parents and siblings without whom we wouldn't be here today. They were our pillar of support and our lighthouse when we needed it the most. Thank you for our teachers and faculty. While we might forget the facts and formulas they taught us, we will always remember how they molded our minds and broadened our perspectives so that we could become better versions of ourselves. And lastly, thank you for keeping us healthy, giving us an education, and bringing us this far. Amen. Class of 2020, we might have finished this 13-year race, but a new one is just beginning. I hope and pray that we finish our next race as strong as we finish this one. Thank you.
Hello and good morning to you all. My name is Montrell Nelson, and I am your Hightower High School 2020 Senior Class President. I want to start by giving a warm welcome to everyone that could physically be here at our graduation ceremony, as well as those watching live. These circumstances, although unconventional, are still a blessing. Hightower High School Class of 2020 has much to celebrate. Total scholarships earned within the senior class exceed $18 million, which is the highest in hurricane history. Will the students who've received scholarships please stand to be recognized? Congratulations. Regular attendance is extremely important in helping students achieve their academic goals. This year, Hightower High School has 38 seniors who had perfect attendance. Will those students please stand to be recognized? The class of 2020 is also accomplished. And you may have noticed that many in front of you are wearing these displays of honors. Students, at this time, if you are an honor graduate or have received an honor cord, sash, medal, or similar academic honor award, please stand to be recognized. Congratulations to you all. We would also like to present and recognize this year's honor graduates, beginning with summa cum laude graduates. Summa cum laude graduates, please stand. These students have a grade point average of 97 or higher. Congratulations. Next, we will ask our magna cum laude students to please stand and be recognized. These graduates have a grade point average between 93 and 96. Congratulations. And our cum laude graduates are next. These students finished with a grade point average between 90 and 92. Please stand and be recognized. Congratulations to you all. There are students in this graduating class who have chosen to serve our country through enlistment in the military after graduation. Students, please stand and be recognized if you are joining the military after graduation. Thank you for your service to our country. Now, we truly couldn't have done this alone. I want to give a special thank you to all administration, staff, teachers, and parents for helping us these last 4 years to get to this very moment and become the dynamic senior class we are sitting here today. And a special shout out goes out to Mr. Montalongo for always coming through for us. Thank you all. We really weren't supposed to be here today. And as a class, we've lost so much. Senior week, senior trips, prom, and so many other priceless memories we'll never have. Regardless, this does not take away from any of the hard work and dedication that we've put in and day out, starting from our first day of kindergarten to our last day as a high school student. As we start this next chapter in our lives, we must remember that obstacles like these do not define us. And as we are facing one of the biggest changes in our lives, we have to realize change is necessary. If you are not changing, I challenge you to reflect on the following question. Are you growing? The moment you get too comfortable is the moment when you're most vulnerable. As we've all heard, the ups and downs that come in high school do not compare to what the real world has in store for us. A wise man named Willie Yarbrough once told me, the two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. So I leave you with this. As we each go on our journeys, however different they may be, find your why. Find what makes you happy and be you, unapologetically. Now, it is my job to introduce a special young lady. She was part of the Science Honor National Society, Vice President of HOSA, founder and co-president of the Hispanic Student Association, president of Speech and Debate, and has earned her title as our Class of 2020 valedictorian. She has made it her mission to put her best foot forward in everything she does and has proven to be a great leader at Hightower, in our community, and no doubt in her future ventures as she attends the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, better known as the MIT. She was admitted into 11 of the most prestigious universities in the country, and her scholarship award total alone amounts to almost $400,000 in scholarships. I, along with her family and friends, could not be more proud of her, and it is my pleasure to introduce her. So please help me welcome our Hightower High School Class of 2020 valedictorian, Isabella Gandara.
Thank you so much to Montreal for the kind introduction. Good morning to my fellow graduates, parents, other family members, teachers, and FBISD administrators. Normally, graduation is already a momentous ceremony, but with all that has happened, including an uncertain pandemic, I believe that everybody hearing this, whether in person or through the live stream, should applaud themselves for having made it this far. Thank you for supporting the class of 2020 throughout these past 4 years, and especially during this time. Before I reflect on our senior year and what lies ahead, I want to take this opportunity to thank a couple of the most influential people in my life. Firstly, thank you to Melissa. I remember you telling me that I would be speaking on the stage in our anatomy and physiology class during junior year, and I would like to thank you for having believed in me. Thank you to my family, to my little brother Max, who is my closest thing to that I have to a partner in crime. I am proud to leave this school knowing that you are a part of the next generation of students that will continue to invest in Hightower and do what no one else has done before. And to my parents, I owe so much of my success to you. You've allowed me to pursue my own interests and have always encouraged me to do what I felt was right and, more importantly, what made me happy. To my mother, who left her small town in Wisconsin and everything she knew to pursue her education, you taught me the value of resilience and the power of empathy. To my father, who came from his home state of Durango in Mexico, you taught me how to be independent, all while teaching me to be proud of my heritage and culture as a Latina woman. Gracias por darme la fuerza para seguir adelante. And thank you to my friends, namely Grizel, Amy, Cleo, Danya, Marari, and Tyler, for continuing to support me with your friendship. I have enjoyed these past years and growing up by your side as you have each become your own intelligent and amazing person. And lastly, thank you so much to our teachers and faculty. Thank you for continuing to work hard during this pandemic and being so understanding to the students in our class. When you put in the effort to let your students know that you care about them and not just the material you teach, you are leaving a real impact in our lives, even if we do not understand it at our age. And I would like to thank a few teachers specifically, to Mr. Self, Dr. Ramon, Mr. Taha, Mr. Foster, Mr. Wackham, and Mr. Jimenez. Thank you for pushing me to do more. Each of you have been especially impactful at my time at Hightower with your dedication. Now, let's reflect. To put it lightly, this year has not been very kind to the class of 2020. But with this situation, I believe that we are uniquely positioned to reflect on how unpredictable life can be. Let this pandemic be a lesson. When things change without warning, it will be up to you to adapt, to learn, and to overcome. If the plan doesn't work anymore, change the plan, but never the goal. It is also important to remember that when setting our goals, they are unique to ourselves. Throughout high school, I looked up to leaders in my school, my community, and at work. To me, they were my role models, and I hoped that I would be able to have the success that they had earned. It took me a while to realize that it was not enough to just look at what my role models had done. I did not need to look up to them for the paths that had led them to their success, because it would have been hollow and fruitless of a pursuit for me to simply mimic their accomplishments, because the success would not have been my own. Instead, I decided to observe what it was that made them successful: their drive, their personalities, and their passion. Instead of following someone else's path in life, I looked to them for inspiration and decided to forge my own. In this way, the success I have been able to achieve, as well as the life I have led, is completely my own. I then felt awestruck to realize that there were people telling me that I was their role model by the end of my senior year. And this is not just true for me. Everyone in this audience will be a role model to someone else in their life. Whether it is because you graduated, or because of the work you have done, or because of the obstacles that you have overcome, you survived. And that alone is an inspiration to those who need it right now. So, remember these lessons that you have learned, because they will be valuable to remember when you succeed. All of those lessons, all of the mistakes that we have made have brought us to this very point. We carry each of these experiences with us, just as we carry our virtue. It is easy to look back on your failures in the past and feel discouraged by them. But as a final message, I want to say, don't be embarrassed of your past self. Be proud that you have made it this far. Be proud that you have been able to change so much. Carry those lessons with you and share them with others, all while you work to make your future self proud. Thank you, and congratulations to Hightower's class of 2020.
Dr. Dupree, Mr. Burdine. On behalf of Hightower High School, I would like to recognize and present to you the outstanding class of 2020. These seniors have met all of the required qualifications to participate in our graduation ceremony today.
Thank you, Mr. Montalongo. I am honored to accept this outstanding class on behalf of the Fort Bend Independent School District. And I want to again thank the dedicated faculty and staff at Hightower for ensuring our students are prepared to pursue a future beyond what they can imagine. I am going to remind the audience that this is a no-contact ceremony, so shortly I will leave the stage along with our board members, and we're going to congratulate and greet the graduates from under the tent at the back of the stadium. And with that, I am pleased to present the Hightower Hurricane Class of 2020 to our board president, Jason Burdine. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Dupree, and congratulations, class of 2020. As I've stated in the past, graduation is a tradition that I look forward to each and every year. For this year, 2020 graduation, your senior year, and our lives in general look dramatically different. The coronavirus has been challenging our routines, our expectations, and our traditions. COVID-19 has fundamentally shifted my belief about the importance of graduation. Living now with the understanding that it is both a privilege and blessing to unite as one community in the celebration of the accomplishments of our amazing Fort Bend ISD students as they venture into shaping their own lives. For our team, ever so more, graduation is the culmination of the work that we do in Fort Bend ISD, which is to inspire and equip all students to pursue futures beyond their imagination. Despite the barriers placed before us, I stand here before you confident in the fact that all of our graduates presented here before you today have met the attributes outlined in our district's profile of a graduate. With that being said, it is both my honor and privilege on behalf of the Fort Bend ISD Board of Trustees to accept and confirm the members of the Hightower High School class of 2020. From the beginning of the pandemic, our board kept you, the class of 2020, in mind. Because we know you worked so hard to get to this point, in order to adhere to the TEA's guidance, we kept participation in today's ceremony at a minimum. And so while we are all not here, as a board, we want to share a special video message to our class of 2020. Congratulations.
Health and safety measures in accordance with Texas Education Agency and CDC guidelines.
Class of 2020, we know this is not how you envisioned your senior year or graduation day, but we could not be prouder of how you've navigated this unprecedented challenge.
When Fort Bend ISD develops a profile of graduate, our goal was to develop a graduate like you, a graduate who possesses a strong, rigorous academic foundation and strong character, a graduate equipped for life.
We envisioned that you would exhibit grit and determination when faced with adversity. We could all agree that you've needed to display these characteristics in the past couple of months, and you have risen to the challenge.
Class of 2020, you've communicated and engaged with your teachers online. You've learned and grown in new ways. You've proven that you're both servant leaders and effective communicators.
We know these past few weeks haven't been easy, but you've proven that Fort Bend ISD graduates are critical thinkers. They're visionary and they're innovative. You've been compassionate citizens in your homes and in our community. You're collaborative team members and you're lifelong learners. You've been adaptable and flexible, and we're so proud of you.
Graduation's the culmination of a long and a sometimes difficult journey, and there will be challenges ahead for all of us, but we can't wait to watch you cross the stage.
We know it will look a little differently this year, but we still celebrate you and your accomplishments. As a graduate of Fort Bend ISD, you're prepared for whatever comes next and for futures beyond what you can possibly imagine.
We will now recognize each graduate individually, beginning with our valedictorian, salutatorian, and others who make up the top 10. After that, students will be called in the order which they are seated. Isabella Sophia Gandara.
Sanal Anil Kumar.
Elsa Maria Chatet.
Malay Shah.
Zain Moin.
Dia Krishnan.
Christina Jeju Kuravila.
Amber Amna Ayub.
Eunice Aduwimi Budarinde.
Daryl Tran.
Montrell Deshaun Nelson Jr.
Arlette Orozco.
Marianne Igosa Ivibukun.
Emmanuel Ogusanya.
Griselle Gines Garcia.
Ezra Wiggins Millington.
Prince Onyegechiki Ogbu.
Maria Perez Millington.
Vanessa Huang.
Ariel Corona.
Celeste Michelle Akins.
Amy Pierce.
Idalia Lucero Herrera.
Sarah Magnolia.
Imani Ajare Yaboa.
Susan Rachel Verghese.
Aaliyah Faith Goss.
Wani Muhumazi.
Madison Marie Bennett.
Fatima Martinez.
Dana Lanice Griggs.
Raina Washington.
Jessica Melissa Castro.
Coralana Trevino.
Jayla Ariel Sylvester.
Gabriela Ramirez.
Javier Ivan Vera.
Monica Moronon Barrera.
Athira Krishnan.
Estefani Perez.
Teresa Lizette Rodriguez.
Isaiah King Solomon.
Yes, this is Contact Us graduation, but that's her son. Claudia Ayurite.
Ja'Cory Dade.
Grace Marie Bird.
Adeoluwa Akabojo.
Kaylin Monique Renee Lyons.
Ayana Terrell.
Solomon Emden.
Carmen Sanders.
Hajira Mahmood Chaudhry.
Chelsea Ramirez.
Kennedy Trinice Law.
Kriza Patrice Corina Rito.
Jaslyn Rochelle Butler.
Takesia Nicole Ray.
Jasmine Nicole Cruz.
Xavier Powell.
Miguel Bastos Velez.
Carly Miller.
Melissa J. Garcia.
Haley Williams.
Kaylee Noe Sandoval.
Wata Kenna.
Eric Nathaniel Mendoza.
Joanna Soyombo.
Shelby Gianna Lee.
Daniel Deshaun Tooks.
Andrea Jude.
Maria Katie Marie Pina.
Nyla Janae Sasha Jones.
Alexis Vasquez.
Rosaria Avian Brooks.
Mary Carmen Maldonado.
Ree Lene Griggs.
Ruby Rodriguez.
Amora Renee Lewis.
Delton Robinson.
Anaya Joy Johnson.
Carrie Michael Robinson, Jr.
Jasmine Janelle Goodman.
Jordan Roseberg.
Kiera Linier Stovall.
Dylan Victor Perkins.
Kayla S. Miller.
Cesar Andrew Poblano.
Cameron Sean Collins.
Bridget Igbokewe Ogbo Agu.
Shalon Benedict Bijou.
Michaela Malik.
Malaya Janae McDaniel.
Aaliyah Marie Walker.
Kiera Janae Jackson.
Alfonso Roundtree III.
Jayla Mache Renee Crawford.
Louis Sanders, Jr.
Micah David Cunningham.
Jawad Hamza.
Maya Lynette Harris.
Jordan Chelsea Cortland Jones.
Cameron Danielle Guillory.
Kayla Lee Hurd.
Kobe Javon Campbell.
Rishwin Roshan.
Olakunle Joseph Awe.
Alexandria Moffett.
Daisy Chukwu.
Justin Jalen Ree Wright.
Chisholm Jean Neka Aneji.
Lamadrid Williams.
Shamaka Victoria Chidomere.
Demaya Trent.
Eric DeJohn Jackson Scott.
Abbas Sahi Saba.
Zaria Monet Johnson.
Joseph Oko.
Destiny Lachey Lombard.
Benoy Bijou.
Aaliyah Lemuel.
Alvin Joseph Sam.
Taylor Ann Purvis.
Kenneth Joe Thomas.
Shayana Jamelia Gilmore.
Kandan Raul.
Monet Shanice Davis Fields.
Faiz Shakur.
Sydney Camille Jalavet.
Senior Niece Swanson.
Javon Bell Butler.
Kaylin Matthews.
Akili Jonette Knowles.
Raven Rogers.
Janae Woods.
Kenyon Ray.
Kyla Janae Lewis.
Nabel Ward.
Roberto Carlos Benavidez Jr.
Isaiah Walker.
Von Eric Hatchett II.
Kobe Thomas.
Michael Perry Boudreau.
Chase Massey.
Anthony Cecil Castaneda.
Ciara Renee Malvo.
William Ellington Ave.
Marcus Vincent Charles Rylander.
Wahimi Banks.
Matthew Ryan Saldua.
Earl Fitzgerald Hickerson.
Derek Dwayne Dudley.
Jonathan Matthew Clavo.
Jasmine Deshelle Turner.
DeTorrance Lamont Black.
Augustina Marie Tristan.
Arturo Alvarado.
Megan Sierra Wilkes.
Eduardo Espinoza.
Jaquan Lever Scott.
Marquise Levelle Charles.
Cameron Javen Matthews.
Robert Devon Fairley.
Rashawn Dante Grant.
Chidozie Joe Martins Abwachi.
Angelo Dion Moses II.
Eric Christopher.
Kyle Lamont McCain.
Kennedy Isabelita Carter.
Ali Patricia Rodriguez.
Jarvis Alex Lewis.
Nicholas Santiago Ruiz.
Darius Jamal Lewis.
Anthony Roman Solano.
Dalton Maurice Jones Jr.
Anthony Rangel.
Zachary Andrew Los.
Anaya Sky Renaud.
Terrence Kyle Airline.
Yasmin Tanae Walker.
Eddie Cervantes.
Lexus White.
Cameron Lee James Hector.
Kendall Faith Rosenthal.
Michael Ignacio Carrillo Chino.
Alicia Heaven Ubre.
Jose Manuel Gil.
Alicia Royal Phillips.
Bailey Aguirre Mesero.
Edrin Rogers.
Gerardo Loera Martinez.
Enrique Napoleon Newman.
Perezide Ibupulo.
Eugene Robinson IV.
Radiance to Gwen Brooks.
Kristen Okoro.
Kiera LaShawn Gibson.
Madeline Olivia Ramirez.
Nia Simone Alexander.
Kirsten Kayla Morgan Stanford.
Deshanae Jacole Adams.
India Marie Ussery.
Dejanelle Simone Hughes.
Cassidy Renee Newhouse.
Kennedy Jackson Abram.
Delvin Michael Taylor.
Caleb Bryce Attaway.
Victorian Watson.
Jakari DeCharles Landry.
Aaliyah Janae Marks.
Taylor Cheney.
Taylor Mackenzie Varner.
Sierra Monique Antoine.
Rochelle Robertson.
Sincere Delfino Antoine.
Brunel Imani Manning.
Nehemiah Felton Joseph.
Amari Taylor Pete.
Marvin Cuenca.
Morgan Amaya Straughter.
Marcos Nava.
Nakaya Javonye Polk.
Keyshawn Lamar Jackson.
Diavian Spotsville.
Mikhail Dion Kelly.
Crystal Rihanna Stone.
Ronald Deshaun Carroll.
Davion Salter.
Malik Marquise Ellis.
Michael Alexander Moreno.
Makaika Keanu Ellis.
Taylor Isabel Ramirez.
Bria Zamoni Griffin.
Rolando Ramirez Jr.
Alexis Jade Beal.
Kirkland Antonio Woolridge.
Jalea Noel Abney.
Jacqueline Emile Kelly.
Misha Rachel Hines.
Layla Elaine Simmons.
Brianna Lee Baker.
Shamar Curtis Monroe.
Servando de la Fuente Jr.
Christopher Ryan O'Neill II.
Kenneth Dwayne Davis Jr.
Kaylin Delasia Scott.
Elizabeth Estrada.
Tanaya Renee Wilson.
Antoinette Angel Armstrong.
Darius Eugene McGriff.
James Lavelle Carr, Jr.
Azucena Zuniga.
Jordan Hunt Knowles.
Krishan Tyrese Scott.
Tony Charles Jones, Jr.
Miles Willie Smart.
Dave R. Davis, Jr.
Jalen Markel Rocio.
Donovan Michael Davis.
Ashley Vanessa Portillo Gutierrez.
Yuri Sean Light.
Vindalin Oris.
Derek Shane Frank, Jr.
Irma Tobar.
Jerron Devon Cole.
Savannah Aedi Cerna.
Amaya Joy Gabriel.
Valerie Denise Perez.
Shemaya Brianna Gunpot.
Chase Miller.
Davion Delmore Buchanan.
Nia Vinod.
Angelina Guidry.
Jewel Elizabeth Thomas.
Alexia Nycrystal Huff.
Mira Venugopal.
Alyssa Taylor Burns.
Stephen Oluwadere.
Ismail Keta.
Tyrese Jamarcus Scarlett.
Samuel Gideon Bajani.
Anissa Martin.
Shania Fulton.
Alicia Windsor.
Christian H. Amos.
Joshua Allen Payne.
Juan Figueroa.
Julissa Molina.
Kristen Nicole Hurd.
Lauren Alexis Mendoza.
DeAndrea Jonay Britton.
Alondra Perez.
Anisha Caldwell.
Ashley Romero.
Kennedy Lachey Causey.
Karen Rivera.
Nicholas Charles Broussard.
Ana Medina.
Xiomara Nayeli Castillo Pardo.
Nadia Cifuentes.
Demia Brooks.
Chloe Amber Moreno.
Brianna Chanel Johnson.
Destiny Danielle Pinisette.
Dawn Leday Copeland.
Sarah Raul Nakarni.
Abel Burian.
Nitin Mulaka.
Joseph Alexander Edwards.
Tylen Rashawn Walton.
Isaac Nicholas Bejara.
Jonathan Alexander Pena.
Saja M. Jana.
Alexander Rodriguez.
Amy Graciela Lemieux.
Kennedy Grace O'Neill Taylor.
William Scott Jones.
Cameron Ray Smith.
Mirza Brisiera Serna.
Tia Autry Rogers.
Giovanni A. Gill.
Kirsten Siobhan Nobi.
Tayshawn Monet Delts.
Amilcar Estevan Oriolana.
Anaya Jamari Bay.
Ashley Rodriguez.
Jordan Amari Sasser.
Maritza Isabel Tristan.
Talia Ivy Brazel.
Marlon Treviso.
Anaga Arjun.
Miriam Arlen Martinez.
Tony Noriel Cyprian Price.
Jalen Trezino.
Taylor Nicole Brown.
Tylen Christopher Noel.
Evelyn Isabel Lopez.
Mason Xavier Rylander.
Jasmine Marie Barrera.
Corey Dwayne Orr Jr.
Macy Benet Johnson.
Christian Michael Stelly.
Lena Abdul Alim.
Markel Mason Robertson.
Desiree D. Ashley.
Kendall Deshaun Washington. Amira Tion Smith.
Angel Gerardo Bayona Rivera Escobedo.
Leo Christopher Anthony Wilson.
Irene Cortina.
Oliver Sylvester Morris.
Megan Ariana Cantu.
Shamar DeAndre Zeno.
John Allen Cantu III.
Natasha Janae Taylor.
Sydney Bernard Harris Jr.
Shayna Lorraine Sam.
Ashanti Renee Henderson.
Delane Rubin.
Guadalupe Amasquita.
Samba Indal.
Brianna D. Breed.
Justin Span Martin.
Kiera Nicole Hill.
Michelle Martinez Lopez.
Quentin Don Henderson Jr.
Carolina Marlon Torres Vasquez.
Markel Gori Carter.
Christian Samuel Hood.
Darwin Christopher Henriquez.
Isaac Robles.
Jalen Tavon Gertie.
Estefani Tello.
Mirabelle Deanne Jack Tony.
Gloria Elizabeth Perez Millington.
Javier Gutierrez.
Pedro Perez.
Rosie Marulu Hernandez.
Francisco Zavalija Jr.
Sarah Contreras.
Isaiah Jonah Nelson.
Kiera Anaya Baptiste.
Bethany Jade Edwards.
Leda Linares.
Rosalind Aliman.
Kendall DeMario Ferris.
Gustavo Anthony Roches Reyes.
Tyler Cheeks.
Omar Jasso.
Christopher Harris Jr.
Cecilia Jasso.
Nicholas Stephen Hale.
Rigoberto Jasso.
Justefan Hogat Robertson.
Adrian Jasso.
Daniel Elazar de la Garza.
William Ulysses Granilio.
Latsuri Lizette Alvarado.
Syria Granilio.
Joshua Gabriel Estrada.
Gabriela Loreto.
Ayana Jaden Cesares.
Everardo Flores.
Asia Renee Jackson.
Jose Antonio Aguiallo Jr.
Deja Campbell Obey.
Catherine Nicole Avalar.
Makira Danae Draper.
Ashley Cisneros.
Brianna Tyon Lynn Johnson.
Renicia Janae Lavon Hudson.
Tarji Clemens.
Journey Cockerell.
Anthony Tyrone Duplachon Jr.
Emily Vasquez Torres.
Jalen D. Hoyle.
Kayla Newhouse.
Alejandra Gandara.
Zoe Davis.
Yarizbeth Fernandez.
Shabria Graham.
Chris Douglas Jackson Jr. Hey, man.
Acacia Arnold.
Markel Gerard James.
Ulysses Alvarez.
Tom Jose.
Philippia Frimpong.
Brooke M. Josie. Brooke Allen Holloway. Anaya Danae Collins. Lyndon Gerard Johnson. Tyler T. Jeffrey. Carlos Linnell Brewer III. Kimmy Brittany Apatuje. Brielle Lene Adams.
Today, we are proud to celebrate Hightower High School's class of 2020. The class, which consists of those students seated in front of you, as well as others who are not joining us due to the pandemic. We respect the decisions to not participate in today's ceremony, and because we want to recognize all of our class in 2020, including those who may be watching online, we will call their names now.
Jessica Melissa Castro. Jordan Elijah Izaburo. Ria Kanamutil George. Karen Esmeraldo Granilo. Joanne Alex. Jeremy Michael Campos. Michelle Flores. Jacob Alexander Duarte. Molly Baron. Daryl Burbank III. Kyron Jacoby Camus. Jordan Reginald Campbell Lofters. Luis A. Cruz Saravia. J. Allen Jackson. Ada Marie Flores. Tyrell Deshawn Breed. Debrian Janae Jones. Jonathan Herrera. Jabril Ali Diop. DeAndre Alexis Houston. Dalen O'Neill Green. Edgar Etzel Guevara. Kaylin Danae Hodges. Wilcasa Whitley Harrell. Beyonce Armani Harrell. Byron Hall.
Alexis Nuwusu. Efsuwe Elizabeth Obel. Onyekashi Owukanwa. Jessica Daniela Perez. Rachel Elizabeth Payne. Freddie Lee Perry III. Victor Rodriguez, Edrin Rogers, Ariana Ross, Christian Ruiz, Maria Simpson, Emily Vasquez Torres, Evelyn Herrera, Francisco Victoria, Kalila Adana White, Giselle Williams, Shania Iman Williams, Tommy Jawan Wilson, Monica Insignia, Smart Jibuzo, Terry Brown, and Yesenia Alvarado.
Good morning, Hurricanes. It is with great pleasure to be standing here today as the Student Council President of this 2019-2020 academic school year. I would first like to take this opportunity to thank all of the parents for ensuring that your child would make it to this day. I would also like to acknowledge the outstanding teachers, faculty, and staff of Hightower High School that have enriched our minds and equipped us with the tools we need to achieve success. Thank you for your continued dedication towards the students of this establishment. We wouldn't be standing here today without you. Despite the harrowing circumstances our nation currently faces and how it has interrupted our senior festivities and the last fleeting months of our academic year, I am immensely proud of the class of 2020 for the strength and perseverance you have collectively exhibited. This highlights the grit and character of the class of 2020. However, witnessing how we have all evolved over these last 4 years is the greatest achievement of all. I will always cherish all the fragments of memories and interactions I have had with you, including the lessons we have collectively learned from one another. I wish you nothing but optimal success in all of your future endeavors, which I am confident every person in this audience will achieve. One thing I would like to leave with you is the importance of following your intuition, even in times of self-doubt. No matter where you may find yourself in life, know that the only person you are destined to become is the person that you decide to be. Class of 2020, we did it!